Okay, so I'm going to show y'all how to dye fabric using coffee grounds. So what you need are 2 pots, and then you're also going to need some sea salt and water for 1 pot, and then water and coffee grounds for another, and whatever fabric or yarn you would like to dye. Okay, so we have the 2 pots set up. This has 1 part water to 1 part coffee, and then this pot back here has 1 part water to 1 part salt, and we have our fabric sitting in there so that it can get ready to be dyed, and then we have our coffee grounds in here so that it can slowly start to create the dye. And we're going to just stir occasionally with the coffee grounds and let both of these simmer on a medium to low heat for about the next hour. Okay, so after you've let both pots sit for about an hour, you're going to take the cloth off and out of the pot and just kind of dry it a little bit, and then you're going to keep the coffee on simmer, and you're just going to place the cloth back in here and make sure it's fully submerged in the pot. And you have the option to drain the grounds out of the pot because at this point the dye has already been created. But you can also leave it in there if you want it to be a little darker or stronger. So I left the grounds in my pot, but there is a chance that the cloth can come out with little speckles on it if you do that. But I'm just going to keep the grounds in there and let this simmer for another 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, so now that it's simmered for about 45 minutes, I'm ready to transfer it, and at this point you can either be done and go ahead and dry it off and clean it and it'll be ready to go, or you can do what I'm about to do if you want to just make sure that it's a nice dark color. Here's what it looks like so far. It's got a lot of grounds on it, but just to make sure that it really does look how I want it to look, I'm actually going to let it sit in this glass bowl. And so I just put my cloth in there, and now I'm going to come back and pour enough of the dye, and it still has the grounds in it, but I'm just going to keep it like that, and I'm just going to pour enough of the dye that it coats the cloth, and I'm going to let that cool. And then I'm going to put a lid on it and keep it like that overnight to make sure that the dye has completely set in. And then tomorrow I will show y'all the final product. Okay, so here's the final product, and the top piece is the piece that I dyed and then let sit for 24 hours. And then this piece right here is where it was cut from, so you can see the color difference. And different fabrics are going to take the dye different ways, so just kind of experiment with the different ways you can dye them.